Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Virgo, you are up for the April Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Virgo, this reading should be about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. And yeah, I'm using 4 decks here. I'm using the Kipper deck, my King Solomon Oracle deck, my Korean Tarot Oracle deck, and then the Little Witch Tarot deck if needed for clarification. So let's go ahead and get to it. As I always say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading the energy and the tarot cards. You know your story a whole lot better than I ever could. All right? Now, I'll start with the King Solomon Oracle deck and do that. May I have the energy for Virgo for April? May I have the energy for Virgo for April? May I have the energy for Virgo for April? May I have the energy for Virgo for April? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? 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 May I have the energy for Virgo for April? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? And when I was doing this, when I was doing the 3-card split, this card jumped out, is still on his face. I'm going to take this card. You can't see it, but I'm going to take it and see what it is. Number 11. I still have this card from the previous reading as well. All right. So what is number 11 for the King Solomon deck? All right, number 11, it says flexibility, leniency, compromise, tolerance, forgiveness. All right, situation. A native approach, a lack of serious consideration of the problems that face you, tendency to relinquish what you deserve, a tendency to give up on yourself, a situation that requires flexibility and compromise, person. Someone who gives up, compromises, easily forgives, and tends to gratify those around them. Advice. It's best to yield or to compromise. Being flexible in the current situation will bring you favorable results. Be tolerant and move on. Okay. So there's something that you need to compromise on. Another thing that I'm picking up is don't give up on yourself. In learning to forgive, which interestingly enough, I've already done the Easter reading, which for those who don't know, Easter is in April. And one thing that came up during that reading was forgiveness. It was about forgiveness. And love. Love was a big thing in that reading. And I'll eventually post it. I'll probably post it in a few weeks. But not only with forgiving, but another thing I'm picking up is sticking to your guns. You can stick to your guns and forgive somebody. Some people don't know that. It's almost like the thing, I'm willing to forgive you, but I can't forget. The not forgetting is sticking to your guns. I don't believe in water under the bridge. I'm a Cancer. We have a long memory. So, but you can still forgive someone and still have your beliefs intact, if that makes sense. If someone did something to you and you know they were in the wrong, you can forgive them. You can even be a little bit flexible with them on how you interact with them going forward. But you can still stick to your beliefs. There isn't anything that you need to compromise when it comes to your beliefs. Your interactions, how you deal with them, that's a little bit different. But as for your beliefs, you don't have to compromise those. And don't let anyone shake what your beliefs are. So yeah, let me take some cards from the Kipper deck right quick. May I have the energy for Virgo for April? May I have the energy for Virgo for April? May I have the energy for Virgo for April? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? 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 May I have some cards, please? The energy for Virgo for April. What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that whoa, that jumped out. Okay. Community. Virgo, something just said to me that I'm going back to, I feel like there's a self-confidence thing going on where I'm looking for the words to say about this. You feel you're in the right about something related to a group. But what they have been saying has been getting to you. Maybe because you haven't been as flexible. And again, you can be flexible and still stick to your beliefs. You can do that. You can be flexible and still stick to your beliefs. There may be certain things that there can be compromise, but you have to find a way to do it without it compromising your beliefs. Don't be ashamed of your beliefs. I feel for some of you, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. In the community, you're looked at as a, what's the word I'm looking for? As a, not authority figure. It's sort of like as a leader, as a, I don't want to say sage, even though that could be a word. There's another word I'm looking for. You're sort of like the father of the group or the mother of the group. You're the go-to person. You're the person where if someone has an issue in life, they know they can come to you. And it's a group of people. It's like Virgo, I can depend on Virgo because Virgo is stable and has steady advice. Virgo is able to provide the knowledge. Like you're a wealth of knowledge to your community. And community, it doesn't have to be in the sense of your physical address. It can be a thing of at your job or somewhere else. Wherever you are surrounded by people, you may notice this, that people sort of gravitate to you is because of your strong beliefs in how stable and consistent you are. I feel you're very consistent, is what this is. But also with you being consistent, in certain situations, it may have made you rigid where you could have more flexibility. But you are afraid of being flexible with certain things because you feel being flexible will compromise what you believe, what your core is. I'm telling you that it's possible to be flexible without compromising your core beliefs. I might title this that. It's possible to be flexible without compromising your core beliefs. But it's part of that community. And you enjoy being part of the community. What's at the bottom of the deck? Poverty. Some people who are not doing well might be looking to you for answers on how to help them come out of poverty. Also, something just said to me, some of you might be looking to do nonprofit work, working like where you're feeding the homeless, you're clothing children, you're going door to door. And I just heard political activism, like you're registering people to vote. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Where that's going on, where you're doing community organizing is what you're doing. I'm going to write this down while it's on my mind. You can be flexible without compromising. Is it spell check will take care of it. I can spell, I promise you I can. Your beliefs. Okay. That's what I'm titling this. Let's go ahead and get something from the Korean Tarot Oracle right quick. Energy for Virgo for April. Energy for Virgo for April. May I have the energy for Virgo for April? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? Energy for Virgo for April. What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? Energy for Virgo for April. What is it that... Whoa! All right. Whoa! Interesting. This just got deep. What's at the bottom? Dancers. Okay. So for the first card that came out, it says Regional Products. Number 58. Regional Products came out. So let me pull it on that. Regional Products. It says accumulation of wealth. See, I told you, going back to the poverty thing, you're going to be lifting some people out of poverty. Business strives. Secure life with nothing lacking. Checks and inspections required. Bookkeeping or accounting requested. Why did I just hear an audit? Virgo, I'm just the person reading the energy and the messages. Some of you might be getting an audit from the IRS. For those of you who live in the United States. If you don't live in the United States, then whatever your tax agency is in your country, because this podcast is international. So don't be surprised if there's some type of audit. But I'm not picking up that it's bad, though. Hell, they might end up owing you money after the audit is over with. Let me finish reading this. It says, manager of the wealth and property of another. Care and attention requested in traveling. Material abundance. So that's good. Now, the second card that came out is corrupt official. Virgo, you might need to do an audit of the person. If you're someone who has like a good bit of money and you have a tax planner or a financial manager dealing with your money, like you don't do stuff yourself, then you might need to have them audited, because corrupt official came out too. So I'm going to read that one. But what's coming to me is that they may not have been crossing the T's and dotting the I's. But again, I'm not picking up anything bad for you. I'm not picking up that energy. I feel like if if someone has done something wrong, it's going to fall on them. It's going to fall on them. Of course, you still need to do your due diligence and make sure that they're doing their job. Let me read this right quick. Number 35, corrupt official. It says, some chance of minor relocation, not a big move, but it can be a daunting task. May have to serve others or be served by others. Going back to community, being served by others. Something just said to me to don't, okay, I need to articulate this correctly. You know what, I'm just going to say it like this. Don't get power drunk. If things are going well for you and they start to go even better and it puts you in an even higher position, don't get drunk on power. Don't get drunk on power. Where people are serving you, you have more people working for you. Remember where you came from. I'm just throwing that out there. And I'm pretty sure for Virgo, I did a reading probably about 2 or 3 months ago where I said a specific Virgo is going to do something that's going to put them in the history books. I had picked it up. I forgot which reading it was, but going back, because I was naming like a bunch of different people, names that were coming to me. And I was saying like Tom Brady, this person, that person, and I didn't know why those names were coming to me. And then something had said, they're going to be somebody who does something that goes down in the history books. Now, this may be related to that person, or this is just saying, as you acquire more power, don't get drunk on it. So keep that in mind. All right, where was I at? Tasks, others have to complete tasks at hand now. Everyone has his or her role. Fated to accomplish the given task for the time being, but for not too long. So, for this card, this is a thing where some of you are going to have to take control. I'm still going to, for anybody handling your finances, Virgo, make sure you do an audit of them. Make sure you do an audit. And I feel like there may be something coming about an audit of your finances. But again, I don't feel that it's bad for you. I don't feel that it's bad for you. Now, number 21, dancers, was at the bottom of the deck. It says, can get wasted if too excessive, but sometimes such entertainment pleasure is necessary. Moderate use can help. People with clearly different stances are gathered in one place. Reminds me of community. Face the reality that you are not the central figure. What appears extravagant and gorgeous may only be a party set up for others with no practical benefits to you. Something just said to me, be mindful of the circles you travel in. Be mindful of the circles that you travel in the sense of who you deal with. Again, this community card can mean many, many things. It could be at work. It can be at your physical location at home. It can be with your family, like your relatives. It can be other things. It can be friends. What this dancer's card is saying, for me, the energy that I'm picking up, is that it's okay to have a good time. And even as you accumulate wealth, you can have a good time. Just be careful who you're dancing with. And I want to say, I'm going back to this community card. Don't compromise your beliefs. Don't compromise your core beliefs. something. This is random. If you want to check out now, I totally get it. This is random. You know how sometimes coworkers might invite you to go out for a drink or something like that? And let's say that you don't drink. Because me, I don't drink. I'm not a drinker. I don't really like the taste of alcohol anymore. And you don't drink. So you're like, oh, well, they're just going out to drink. But you could go out to socialize. Maybe, depending on where they're going. Now, if your coworkers are going to a club, to each his own. But if they're going to, let's say, a restaurant that serves alcohol, all right, then maybe you can go out and have a quick bite to eat. But while they're drinking, you don't have to drink. You're not compromising, you're just being a little more flexible. You may know that they're specifically going to the restaurant to drink. Food is the side dish. Alcohol is the main dish. You know how it is with certain people, and I'm not judging. That's one of those situations where at first you're like, you know what, I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stay where I'm at, blah, 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 blah. But you could actually have a conversation with them. And while they're drinking, you can sip on your water or sip on your soda or juice or whatever and do that. And I'm just using that as an example. There are other situations where you have a community and they're going to an area or they're going to do an activity that you just are like, no, I'm not participating in that. That's fine too. So just be mindful. Everything is on a case-by-case basis. Nothing is truly black and white. There's always gray area somewhere. I just want to throw that out there. Something told me I needed to say that, so I did. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, Virgo, be blessed.